an AFC East slobber knocker in a monsoon. The Jets playing host to the Patriots. Not sure if you were watching this game or not. Probably not. Maybe other things going on. But Mac Jones, he did have a touchdown pass. And Matthew Judon, a late safety, compliments of the very shaky Zach Wilson, as New England extending their winning streak now over New York to 15 games in a sloppy 15-10 victory on a rainy afternoon into the evening there in Jersey. The better story, though, is in the losing locker room, where Zach Wilson, again, attempted to play quarterback in a futile effort, as he's terrible and still terrible. Zach Wilson had just 157 passing yards. He failed to do anything in terms of jump-starting the Jets offense, despite having the Jets cover for him after he was hot garbage against the Dallas Cowboys the week prior. And the Jets said, well, he really wasn't that bad for the first three quarters. It's just the fourth quarter, he was not that good. And yet again, Robert Saleh continues to defend his embattled quarterback, because why not? He's the head coach of the Jets. The futility had many people pulling their hair out who are apologists of the New York Jets there, as Robert Saleh continues to defend his quarterback. In fact, I think we have some audio tape here just to prove that I am not making this up. Here is Robert Saleh explaining the situation the Jets find themselves in. Take a listen.
Right now, Zach is the best player he's who gives us the best chance to win. And, so that's basically that would be the cleanest answer I could give you.
Yes. So the other way to phrase that would be, we have no chance to win, but we're going with him anyway. We're screwed. You know it. I know it. We have nobody. We're going with this guy who's a zero. He might as well wear zero. They're allowing that now in the NFL. In fact, let him wear 00 or 000. He's 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0 to infinity and beyond with zero. All right. So Saleh also explained that the teammates, he said he needs some help from his teammates and all that. He talked about that part of it. So let us discuss the question. Robert Saleh, you heard it, endorsing Zach Wilson, calling out some of his teammates. You didn't hear that part of it, for not making enough plays. Is that fair or foul? Is that fair or foul? And I've got on this one, I have Sir Winston Churchill, bedraggled and dragon. And we will combine all of these things together, and we will line them up like dominoes, and we will knock them down. All of them will be knocked down. So to kick off the festivities, this is absolutely foul, is what this is. Man, is this foul. Robert Saleh, he is damned if he does and damned if he doesn't. It doesn't matter what he does. All right. Every man, woman, and child is aware the Jets' offense at this point is primitive. And Zach Wilson is completely overmatched. Robert Saleh knows it. Joe Douglas knows it. Everybody knows it. However, they are conflicted with the Jets because they can't say that publicly. Part of it is the whole decorum of the NFL. You've got to handle yourself with a certain kind of a certain status, certain style. I'm trying to think of the right word, but he is, as a franchise, Robert Saleh is part of the group that brought Zach Wilson and Joe Douglas, the GM, there. And Robert Saleh is Mr. Positive. He's read all the self-help books, and he's convinced himself that he can awaken the giant within at the quarterback position. And we look at this and we're like, well, that's a nice effort, but they handpicked this guy. And to make matters even worse, here's the most incriminating thing you can say about Joe Douglas and Robert Saleh. They knew this guy couldn't play, but yet they kept him as a backup to Aaron Rodgers, knowing that Rodgers was heading into his age 40 season and was very likely not to be able to play every game, even if he didn't have a season-ending injury. He was likely going to miss a couple of games along the way with a minor injury. And this was your backup plan. And you even had the chutzpah to try to tell people, oh, no, everything will be okay here. Everything's going to be fine. And Zach Wilson, just being around Aaron Rodgers, he's learning by osmosis. Liar, liar, pants on fire. Liar, liar, pants on fire. Yeah. And so they could have gotten rid of Zach Wilson and brought literally anyone else in to be the backup quarterback, and then they wouldn't have had this problem. But they chose to go back to Zach Wilson, keep him around. Part of it is nobody wanted him. And the result is the Jets have to now hide a multitude of sins. They have a lot of sins to hide. It's some very tricky math here. If you look around, you'd have to think the Jets right now are looking around for a quarterback. There were rumors on the pregame shows on Sunday that both Matt Ryan, who's now bad at television, and also Carson Wentz, who's just bad at everything, reached out to the Jets to try to get work. The Jets so far have not responded. Now, there are some rumors here in the overnight that Jets are going to make a move early in the week to add a quarterback. We'll see whether that's true or not. And if you parse the words closely of Robert Saleh, he said that, and you heard it, he said that Zach Wilson gives us the best chance to win right now. But that implied maybe they'll bring somebody else in who will give them a better opportunity to win. But as Sir Winston Churchill said, those that fail to learn from the history are doomed to repeat it. And so you look around, you're like, okay, they're doomed to repeat it. Now, furthermore, in Cleveland, the Browns have a pretty good defense. Not the greatest defense of all time, although you wouldn't know that based on the performance, the Browns defense absolutely smothering the Tennessee football team, holding them to 6 first downs and 94 total yards of offense. That is the fewest yards that franchise has had since they were known as the old Houston Oilers. Love me blue. 49 years ago, Derrick Henry held to 20 yards, boxed up by the Cleveland Browns, and Ryan Tannehill, who was completely useless in the opener against the New Orleans Saints, was back to that level of putrid play for Tennessee in this game. It was bad. Bad to the bone is what it was. You had Mike Vrabel out there yapping away, barking away after the game. Will Mike Vrabel continue to stick with Ryan Tannehill in Tennessee? We asked this question after the first week. The answer was yes. And the answer, I'm nodding my head yes. Should he continue with Ryan Tannehill? No. But Mike Vrabel proves he is extremely pig-headed, that Tannehill has given enough evidence to get benched. His performance on the field is that of someone that needs to be benched, providing the daily double on his performance. He is both ineffective and unproductive on just about every single play. He holds the ball too long. He goes out there absolutely bedraggled. Bedraggled is the word of the day. Nevertheless, right? He's billed as the savvy veteran, and he gives us much like Robert Saleh said that Zach Wilson gives the Jets the top opportunity to win. Well, the same statement is made in Tennessee, because behind Ryan Tannehill, you have Malik Willis and Will Levis. Those are the other quarterbacks. That is a fine kettle of fish that the Tennessee Titans have put in there. And Mike Vrabel, the head coach, a very un-Mike Vrabel-like performance by this team here, as it is of the, he is of the deposit, I'm trying to think of the right word here. He's of the mindset. We'll go with the mindset. He's of the mindset that it's better the devil you know than the devil that you don't know. And he didn't really know Malik Willis, but he does know Malik Willis was bad, and the new guy, Will Levis, clearly has not impressed anyone at this point. So it's status quo unless Ryan Tannehill were to get hurt or ownership would step in and say, hey, bozo, you might want to bench Ryan Tannehill, who will be available if you would like him after the season. His contract will be up. Titans will get rid of his contract. Now, parting shot. Let's go to Baltimore, where Matt Gay, it's a kicker. He had a really good day. If you're into kickers, 53-yard field goal in overtime. The Colts get a 22-19 win over the Baltimore football team. Matt Gay, 4 kicks from behind 50 yards, including that game winner, and he becomes the first kicker in NFL history to do that. And he had a chance in overtime, and both teams had been stopped on 4th down right near midfield. That he ended up making the game-winning kick. But the better story in the losing locker room were the Ravens. The Ravens wasted 2 overtime opportunities with great field position. Former MVP at quarterback, unable to get it done. Baltimore was also furious. They blamed the referees. There was a 4th down and 3. If you didn't even watch this game, maybe you saw the highlight. 4th down and 3 at the Indy 47-yard line. Lamar Jackson throws a pass. It's incomplete, but if you look at the replay, the Colts linebacker, somebody named E.J. Speed, we're not sure who that is. We like his name, though. It's a good name. E.J. Speed had his hands on Zay Flowers. He was giving him flowers, giving him a massage, and no call. Let him play. They swallowed the whistle, they being the Zebras. And what the heck, though? Let's look at the Ravens. What the heck? That aside, what the heck went wrong for the Ravens offense against the Colts? Is this going to blame it on the weather? Oh, it was the weather. Shouldn't the Ravens be able to succeed in bad weather? And shouldn't you be able to win in bad weather with the style of play the Ravens play? I would think so, right? I would think so. They didn't find, obviously they didn't find Pater. They did not find the oil well. Lamar Jackson, though, visiting the Dragon's lair as he had dragon breath late in this game. The overall numbers are not that bad, but Lamar Jackson in the 4th quarter and overtime, good old Lamar, man, he was ugly. Finished the game, 4th quarter overtime, 8 of 15, 69 yards, averaged 4.6 yards per pass attempt. No touchdowns, no interceptions, obviously. Passer rating, not very good. Got to close things out, even in the bad weather. You got to get it done. No excuses. Do your job. Last 5 drives for Baltimore. Last 5 drives for the Ravens. Punt. They missed a long Justin Tucker field goal. Punt, turnover on downs. And turn out the lights. The party's over. And now you start looking ahead. And you're like, okay, so the Ravens lost this game, and you're like, okay, what does this mean big picture? Well, it's a non-divisional game. It's a conference loss, but it's a non-divisional game, and the Ravens play a divisional opponent, the Cleveland Browns, and a pretty good Browns defense this coming week.